We are blessed today to have Youth Sunday on this gorgeous Pentecost day. Christopher Guest is going to come speak to us now about the gospel of love. Christopher?
Change. It affects all of us, and even through our attempts to find some consistency in our daily lives, it seems only one rule holds true, and that's the only real consistency in life is change. This ongoing change throughout our daily lives can take its toll and leave us asking for even just 1 second where the world just stands still. Many people spend their whole lives searching for this second of stillness. However, I've been extremely fortunate because through my 13 years living in Wyoming, I've been able to find an anomaly to this life of change, and that's been through this wonderful congregation. Through all the changes in my life, whether it be schools, teachers, sports, or friends, I know that no matter what, Father Eric and this congregation have always and will always welcome me with loving arms. Every Sunday morning, no matter how tired, I know I can always find my lovely Sunday school teachers in the basement with their always appreciated snacks, or my amazing grandma and grandpa in the choir waiting to give me the biggest hug during the peace offering. Or, of course, our youth in the parish hall after every service playing the piano in perfect tune. This consistent love and support that ANHT has provided during my life in Wyoming has enabled me to be the person I am today. And even hundreds of miles away, I know I will always have the love of God and this church supporting me through all my successes and, of course, my many mistakes. I'm forever thankful for my Sunday school teachers, acolyting and service opportunities, and the positive relationships I've developed with so many different people throughout this congregation in my years attending ANHT. And I will miss everyone dearly while at college. The constant love this church has provided me encourages me to face some of the biggest upcoming changes in my life with love and confidence. And I know no matter how far I go, I'll never be alone. Thank you, and I always look forward to seeing you during my many visits back to Wyoming.
Thank you, Christopher. Up next, we have Natalie Glover.
I've been writing bits and pieces of this speech in my head ever since my older sister Meredith gave hers 5 years ago. But when I sat down to actually put my thoughts into words, I struggled. I had no idea how I'd begin to thank all of you for everything you have done, or how to express how much this church has meant to me. In the end, I decided I would start at the beginning. I've been going to this church my entire life, so the earliest memories of it are a little fuzzy, but there are some that are bold in my brain. One is that Molly and I always used to comment on the fact that the entire building looked like an upside-down boat, which we decided to connect to Noah's Ark. Another is that I used to sit in the pews long before I could actually listen to the readings or understand their meanings, and try to decipher a pattern in the colored glass along the walls. Hint, there isn't one. But perhaps one of my clearest memories from my early childhood at this church is of a stuffed Jesus doll. My Sunday school had a doll that looked exactly like the images of Jesus in every children's version of the Bible. Every week, someone got to take the doll home with them and spend the week with Jesus. We could show him what we did in a day, we could pray with him, or we could incorporate him into our pre-existing childhood play regimen. This is the first time I can remember being truly excited for church. As most twins do, Molly and I shared everything when growing up, but we were adamant that we have separate weeks to take the Jesus doll home. So when my week came, of course, I was very excited for the fact that I would be having the doll and Molly wouldn't. But as the week went on and I showed the doll everything I did, I realized how much I liked having it there. For the first time, I felt personally connected to the church. The doll acted as a bridge between my ordinary life and the all-powerful God my mom had told me existed up in the sky. It may seem silly, but this memory has played an important role in my life, as it was the first time I felt I had any ownership of my faith. Fast forward many years to me going on college tours. I was walking around the campus of Hope College and was able to go inside the church. From the moment I walked in, part of me knew that Hope was where I wanted to spend the next 4 years. There's a beautiful stained glass window in the back that looks down on you as you sing, and there's always plenty of music at the services. There's a certain feeling I get when I'm inside of a church, like God is closer somehow, even though your feet are still firmly planted on the ground. This feeling has always been strongest right here in this building, but I was able to feel it at Hope too. I realized that as much as I was worried about academics and social life when looking at college, I also needed to make sure that I could continue my faith. The church helped remind me that even though everything is going to change next year, God will remain a constant in my life. I know this week is Pentecost, and my mom told me that the general gist is talking about the Holy Spirit. For me, Holy Spirit manifests itself in many different ways. Sometimes it's woven within the lyrics of a song on the radio, or sometimes it mingles in with the service project I'm helping with. And sometimes it even manifests itself in a doll that looks like Jesus or a big stained glass window on a college campus. My many years at this church have helped me find my faith and realize that I am never alone. So I'd like to end by saying thank you. Thank you for smiling at me during early Sunday morning service and for watching me in the Christmas pageant when I was in the angel choir for 4 years straight. Thank you for helping me to find myself and for leading me on my faith journey. I can't wait to come back and tell you all about my new college experiences, but for now, I'm happy to reflect on the many memories I've made here and to thank you all for being part of them. Yeah.
Up next, we have Molly Glover, who's going to share more.
As you probably know, I am Molly Glover, and I am graduating from Wyoming High School. Very exciting. I have been part of this church for as long as I can remember. As a kid, what I remember most is seeing smiling faces and hearing people say good morning as I walked in. This, of course, still happens today. When I was little, I would sit on the ground of the pews and draw in a coloring book with these colorful crayons. It would come in a dark blue bag and that the church gave us because so us kids wouldn't get bored in church. We were kids, we didn't know any better. We didn't know that we were actually supposed to be paying attention. But what I remember most about this church is when I was little is not the drawing and the playing of the crayons. I remember the singing. At the end of church, my mom would pick me up in her warm arms, and I would look around and see the colorful window panels my sister mentioned, and the bright lights of the church. I could hear the beautiful harmonies that the church and the church choir made. As we sang, I played with my mom's cross necklace. And I looked at my family. My family would sing together, but sometimes we would forget the words. Even though we read the lyrics in the songbooks. I mean, come on, guys. Anytime someone would come in early or forget a word, we would make awkward eye contact with one another and just start laughing. That is one of the reasons why I fell in love with singing. I felt so blessed and happy while singing. From then on, I sang at Shrove Tuesday in the talent show. I would get up in my little fancy dress and go up there with my little karaoke speaker. I have Mrs. Brenda Wee to thank for that, so thank you. I also joined the kids' choir. We would rehearse after church with Sarah Folsom as our director, who is still my voice teacher today. It was a small choir, but trust me, we were loud and mighty. I would also like to thank Sarah Folsom for working with me and making me a better singer. Singing has also helped me with my faith and has made me feel closer to God. When I sing, I don't feel different or worried or like I don't belong. I feel strong and free. A lot of songs remind me that I am loved and that I am stronger than I think I am. God speaks to me through the lyrics, and I can help and can help me understand what I'm feeling. A couple of months ago, I was having a rough day, so I decided to go on a run. At this time, I felt like God wasn't listening to me or my prayers or my thoughts. I felt like he wasn't there for me when I needed him to be. So I searched for a song on Spotify that I liked, and to make me feel better. But then this song just popped up randomly. It's called God Who Listens. First of all, God sighting. I mean, what a coincidence. What are the odds? I'm feeling lonely and this song pops up. So I clicked on it and I just started to cry. This is when I felt God speak to me. I love the lyrics that say, I'm not just hoping, I'm not just wishing, I know I'm praying to a God who listens. I know he hears me. I know he's living. Yes, I am praying to a God who listens. Leaving this church will be very, very hard. But I know I will always have a church to come back to. This church is not just a community, it is a family. And I can't thank Father Eric enough for everything that he has done for me and my family. Father Eric has helped me with anxiety, and yes, I have a lot of anxiety, and has always seemed so happy to see me, whether it's at prom or any other outside event. Lastly, I'd like to thank you all for listening and for making me feel so welcome every Sunday. God bless you all.
Beautifully done, Molly. And Katerina Getchy is going to come up.
Last night, when I was really putting all my energy into this, writing this, I had a really hard time. I didn't know what I was supposed to write. I didn't know what point I was supposed to make. And I knew there was a lesson in the regular sermons that Eric gave, and there was a moral of the story. But this is different, and I just didn't know how to adjust to it. I tried to think of experiences I had that I could relate back to the church, but kept getting lost in making the connection. I felt it was almost too late to ask for help because it was yesterday. And I started to panic because I didn't have much time left to prepare. I felt this way in my personal life, like I didn't have a place to go or know what to do, and I bet everybody here has felt that way. It's a feeling I've felt throughout my college search, and it makes it very difficult to find the right way for my future and to decide what I want to do. It's really hard to overcome these feelings of uncertainty and this fear of the unknown, especially if you don't have someone there for you. This, though, was an outlier because I didn't have anybody last night, but I could think back to all the times I had with this congregation, with them there supporting me. For example, I've had times where I'm anxious or upset about something, and even if I wasn't searching for it, a solution to my difficulties would show up somewhere in, like, Christina's teachings in Sunday school or in the sermon. It wasn't necessarily intentional, but it offered me guidance and peace of mind. I'm so grateful for the amount of support, both intentional and not, given to me. It's helped me become who I am today and have peace of mind rather than a fear of the unknown. The specific lessons that taught me this grace won't always be remembered by me. I couldn't even tell you what lessons gave me this grace, but I know that it'll offer me the memories I have of this congregation being there to support me and giving me constant goodwill when I need it. Even though in my future I might not have a place to call home all the time, and I might not fit in with the people at college or find a church group that makes me feel home, I will be able to come back home and be able to come here and spend time with everybody here that supports me. It's the one place I've connected with other than school. At my previous church, I never felt connected to the people there or God, but that might have just because I was very young. But when I came here, I was able to find a community that is always there for me, and I will never be able to forget that, and it'll always be there to offer support, even when I need it the most and don't have anybody around me to give me that support. Thank you for being there for me always and being a second home for me.